Hello, it's me, Yvonne Abro, and I'm doing a series on the Old English runes. And if you've reached the end of the videos about the runes, you might be wondering where you can find more information. So there are various books on the runes and Old English culture, and also websites. If you're looking at, these tend to divide into two different categories. There's ones about the Old English culture, which are written from a historical and archaeological point of view, and then there are ones which are written by interested pagans, and sometimes there's an overlap. But in terms of learning more about how to use the runes for divination and as symbols to meditate on, and how to do Galdra, I would heartily recommend this book, The English Runes by Suzanne Rance, and her work is informed by the work of Stephen Pollington, who is a very well-known scholar on the runes, and he did an amazing translation of the Lacnunga or Leechbook, which I have a copy of, and it's a big heavy book, so but it is amazing. And other books that you might enjoy, there are lots of people who've written about the runes. The website I found the most useful whilst researching a bit more for this series was the English and Gesithas, and that's linked under every rune video, and I'll add a link to it under this one. So the reason I like Suzanne Rance's work so much is that it's informed by scholarship, because she draws on the work of Stephen Pollington and R.I. Page, and it is there's a chapter for each rune. There's an introduction explaining about Old English culture, and then at the end there's a really helpful appendix which has a summary of the information about each rune, so hopefully you can see that. But it's a table with the runes and what each one of them means, so super helpful, definitely recommended. And I like the fact that she draws on two different translations of the Old English rune poem. One by, I think it is Pollington's translation, and the other one is an older one by somebody called Kemble. And so that is helpful to sort of illuminate the differences in understanding. So definitely a great book to get, and I love the fact that she included a series of instructions on how to do Galdra and some suggestions for your further reflection and meditation on each rune. The one thing that I would have liked a longer chapter on Galdra, because it's something I'm really interested in, but she talks about how to make all the vowel shapes, and for each rune she tells you how to pronounce that rune, so you can go through, but it would have been really, really handy to have like a phonetic listing of how to pronounce each rune. But that is my only criticism, and it's a really great book, and so thanks to A Cultivated Fae for recommending it to me, because super great recommendation. And a couple of YouTube video recommendations. There's a channel of a lady called Eadig who has some really great videos on rune yoga and other aspects of the runes, so check her out. And also Jackson Crawford, who talks about Viking culture and and he has done a bunch of translations of the sagas, and he's also had conversations with a guy who does Old English, similar work with Old English poems and such, and I will put links to him because I can't think of his name right now. So lots of further exploration from this point. All right, thanks for listening, and see you next time.